So here's a battle with Wazabi! And he's from the Serebii clan FF. So I decided to use a sandstorm team today because some guy said, "Hey, KillerNacho, you should use your Cradily again." So I'm like, okay, sure. So I lose Hippodon, which I haven't led with for a while, so get some nostalgia in with Hippodon too. And I set up Stealth Rocks, but unfortunately for him, he misses his Will-O-Wisp. And I decide to roar to scout his team, and he does go into Bronzong, so I get to scout two guys. I see a Flygon and a Bronzong. So he U-turns out with his Flygon, and I can see it's probably banded already because how much damage it did, because I didn't expect U-turn to do that much to Hippodon. But anyway, I decide to roar again, and this time I see porygon-z. Now, yeah, I don't have a safe switch, and I just want to kind of know what porygon-z this is, so I decided to stay in with Hippodon and let him die. And that's kind of sad, but oh well. And at this point, I'm suspecting it's one of those Scarf porygon-z's. So I go into Scizor, because Scizor resists ice, and I decide to go for a Bullet Punch, and he does switch out, and he goes into Spiritomb. And because my Scizor is Choice Band, I'm able to 2-hit KO this thing, and yeah, the Spiritomb isn't going to cause any more problems for my team. So anyway, he's going to go into Flygon again now, and I really don't know what he's going to do. I'm already suspecting it's banded, but I decided to go into Gyarados since it's a pretty safe switch. He's either probably going to Earthquake or just U-turn or something. But actually, this Flygon is carrying Fire Blast, I guess specifically for Scizor. So yeah, Gyarados takes that either way. So I'm kind of fearing a switch into Porygon-Z here, the Scarf Porygon-Z. So I decide to Waterfall instead of Dragon Dance. But he goes into Bronzong. And I don't want this Bronzong to set up on anything, and I'm not really too confident I'll be able to 2-hit KO this, so I decided just to taunt. And he does try to set up the Stealth Rocks, so that's not too bad at all. And, yeah, I decide to go for the Waterfall again, but he goes into Tentacruel, and Tentacruel is going to resist the Waterfall, which is sad for me. But Tentacruel's physical defense isn't too great, so I'm just going to go for Stone Edge here. And like I said, the reason I'm not Dragon Dancing is because Porygon-Z will still outspeed me. A Scarf Porygon-Z will still outspeed me after one Dragon Dance. So I really don't want to risk a switch into Porygon-Z and have him bone me over. So I just keep attacking, and I'm going to a Waterfall here to finish it off. So he gets a layer of Toxic Spikes, but I do take down his Tentacruel, which is pretty nice. And Gyarados is cool. But now he does go into Porygon-Z, and the Thunderbolt is probably coming. And I don't want to lose Gyarados yet, so I decide to go into Cradily, the whole reason I'm actually using this team. And Cradily is just so funny looking. I really love Cradily. I really should have put him in all my Mudkips, because I have fond memories of Cradily. Anyway, Cradily takes about 2 damage from that Thunderbolt. And he's going to go out into Bronzong, and I decide to Barrier, maybe thinking he'll switch into Flygon. But, yeah, it kind of sucks because now he's going to be able to set up Stealth Rocks. I should have predicted that switch into Bronzong, but I just didn't. So I decided to go into Scizor now, and he does set up the Stealth Rocks, which is kind of bad. And I'm just going to U-turn. If he switches, I'll see what he switches into. If not, I'll probably end up killing this Bronzong. And I do get the U-turn off on Bronzong, and I do take it down. I go into Alakazam, because this is my Spec Zam. And unfortunately, he does go into Porygon-Z here, and he's going to outspeed me, even if I am timid because he's Scarfed. So, yeah. I decide, because I don't know what he's going to lock himself into, I really don't want to risk it, so he just goes for a Dark Pulse, which is super effective against Alakazam, and Alakazam's going to go down. But I didn't want to risk him predicting a switch and locking himself into Thunderbolt or Ice Beam. So I go back into Cradily, because Cradily is epic, and he goes back into Flygon as I set up a Barrier. And after a Barrier, I don't think Flygon can do a whole lot to me. So I decide to go for the Recover, seeing what he's going to lock himself into. And he does go for a U-turn, but after my Barrier, it's not going to do a whole lot to me, because Barrier doubles my defense, which is epic. And I'm just going to Recover, so Cradily's awesome. So he goes back into Porygon-Z, and I'm 99% sure the Ice Beam is coming. So I decide to go out into Scizor, because Scizor resists it. and turns out to be a nice prediction on my part, and he does Ice Beam, and that's only going to do about half to Scizor. And at this point, he's not going to be able to get a safe switch in again, so I decide just to finish him off with Bullet Punch. And he lets me, so that's pretty nice. So anyway, he's going to go out into Machamp, and I'm just going to let him finish off Scizor as Death Fodder and Bullet Punch him. And, yeah, takes him quite down a bit, but his Machamp is going to finish off the Scizor. But I decide to go into Luke, because Luke is Epic Win, and just in case he decides to switch, here I decide to go for an Ice Punch. It'll KO the Machamp either way. And I go for the Ice Punch, I take him down, and I'm going to get a crit off this Extreme Speed to finish it, but he said he locked himself in an Earthquake, so I could have won with Gyarados anyway. So, anyway, good game, Wazabi, and hope to battle again soon. Rate, comment, subscribe, guys. Peace.